I've seen the future of work, and honestly, it's kind of terrifying. But it's also the most exciting thing I've witnessed in the last decade of tech. If you've been anywhere near tech Twitter or the developer corners of YouTube in the last 48 hours, you have definitely seen the explosion. It started as a whisper about a project called ClawdBot, and then, almost overnight, it rebranded, evolved, and turned into something the internet is calling Moltbot. People aren't just downloading this app, they are freaking out about it. Influencers are calling it the best technology they've ever used. Developers are claiming it's the end of junior engineering roles. And productivity gurus? They're saying this is the first real step toward the mythical one-person billion-dollar business. But why? We've had ChatGPT for years. We've had Claude. We've had AutoGPT and a dozen other agents that promised the world and then got stuck in infinite loops trying to order a pizza. This is different. For the cost of a mid-range computer and a monthly API subscription, you could hire an employee who works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never sleeps, never complains, has an infinite memory, and, here's the kicker, actually has full control over your computer? I'm talking about an AI that doesn't just write text in a box. It opens your browser. It clicks buttons. It writes code in your actual files. It manages your calendar. It is a digital ghost in your machine that does your work while you are literally asleep in your bed. Today, we are going deep into the Moltbot ecosystem. We're going to break down exactly what this is, why it's suddenly taking over the internet, and most importantly, how you can build one yourself without wrecking your digital life. But to understand why this specific tool is the one breaking the internet right now, we have to look at the fundamental problem with every AI tool you've used up until today. Think about how you use AI right now. You open a browser tab, you type a prompt into ChatGPT or Claude, it gives you text back, and then you have to do something with that text. You have to copy it, paste it, format it, run the code, or send the email. You are the middleman. You are the bottleneck. Moltbot removes you from the equation. At its core, Moltbot, formerly ClawdBot, is an open source local gateway. That's fancy talk for a piece of software that takes those powerful brains from Anthropic or OpenAI and gives them hands. It integrates directly with your operating system. It runs in the background of your computer, constantly monitoring tasks. Unlike a chatbot that forgets who you are the moment you close the tab, Moltbot utilizes a complex, infinite memory system. It logs every interaction. It remembers your preferences. If you told it 3 weeks ago that you prefer your meeting notes in bullet points and that you hate using Excel, it remembers that today. But the real magic isn't the memory, it's the agency. Moltbot acts as a 24/7 AI employee. It interfaces with you primarily through messaging apps. You don't even need to be at your computer to use it. You could be out at dinner, pull out your phone, open Telegram, and text your agent, "Hey, go to the company website, scrape the latest press release, draft a LinkedIn post about it, and save it to my drafts folder." And while you're eating your appetizer, your computer at home wakes up. It opens the browser, it navigates to the site, it reads, it writes, it saves the file, it texts you back. Done. What's next? This isn't sci-fi anymore. This is open source code you can download right now. It feels rebellious because there is no corporate gatekeeper telling you what the AI can or cannot do on your own machine. It is uncensored, powerful, and raw. But raw power isn't enough to cause a viral sensation. There's a specific cultural shift happening in the tech world right now that made Moltbot the perfect tool at the perfect time. The sudden buzz around Moltbot is largely driven by a new movement that TechCrunch and industry insiders are calling vibe coding. For decades, coding was about syntax. It was about semicolons, brackets, and knowing exactly how to structure a function so the computer wouldn't crash. But LLMs have gotten so good at writing code that the skill set is shifting. We are moving from writing rigid instructions to giving vibes. Vibe coding is the ability to build entire software applications based on loose, natural language prompts rather than strict technical specifications. You don't tell the AI how to write the code. You tell it what the end result should feel like. Moltbot is the ultimate engine for this. Creators are taking to Twitter to show off what they call the unlock. They are showcasing Moltbot building complex Kanban boards, organizing massive file systems, and creating entire websites while they sleep, all from a few text messages sent from their phone. The buzz stems from the tangible return on investment, or ROI. Imagine you are a solopreneur or a content creator. You technically need a junior developer, an executive assistant, and a market researcher. That's easily $150,000 a year in salaries. Or you get a Mac Mini and a Moltbot setup. The viral moment we are witnessing is the realization that autonomous agents have finally matured from cool tech demos to production-ready tools. It's no longer about asking the AI to write a poem. It's about asking the AI to refactor your entire codebase and wake you up when it's done. This shift impacts everyone, not just coders. It changes the definition of what it means to be productive. Productivity used to mean how much work you could do in 8 hours. Now, productivity means how well you can direct an army of software agents to work for you. But knowing this technology exists is one thing. Knowing exactly what to do with it is another. You might be thinking, I don't code, so what would I even use this for? Well, that's where things get really interesting. If you're just starting out with Moltbot, the possibilities can honestly be a little overwhelming. It's like being handed a magic wand and forgetting all the spells. So, let's look at 3 concrete use cases that people are setting up right now. First, there is the second brain curator. We all drown in information. You save articles you never read, you like tweets you forget about, and you have random notes scattered across 5 different apps. Moltbot can automate the organization of your digital life. You can set up a workflow where, whenever you have a random thought or see a cool article, you just forward it to Moltbot on Telegram. The agent doesn't just save it, it analyzes the text, categorizes it based on your previous interests, summarizes it, and files it into the correct folder in your Notion workspace or your hard drive. It is effectively building a searchable database of your own wisdom without you lifting a finger. Second, there is the competitive market researcher. This is a huge time sink for humans. Let's say you're launching a product. You could text Moltbot, "Hey, go to Reddit and Twitter. Find out what people are complaining about regarding our competitor's new update. Compile a report of feature requests based on these complaints." A human would spend 6 hours scrolling, getting distracted, and copy-pasting links. Moltbot spends hours relentlessly scrolling, scraping, synthesizing data, and ignoring distractions. By the time you wake up, you have a strategic document that would take a human analyst a full day to prepare. And third, the executive assistant. This is where Moltbot shines at administrative drudgery. You can set up a dedicated Gmail address for the bot. You forward flight confirmations, meeting requests, or long newsletters to it. Moltbot can parse that email, open your calendar app, add the flight details, block out travel time, draft a response to the meeting inquiry effectively declining it politely, and summarize that long newsletter into 3 bullet points sent to your phone. It is proactive. Because it has that infinite memory we talked about, it starts to learn your routine. It might notice you always check specific metrics on Tuesday mornings, so it starts proactively scraping those metrics and texting them to you before you even ask. But here is the reality check. To run a system this powerful, you can't just run it on a potato. You need infrastructure. And this leads to the biggest debate in the Moltbot community right now, the hardware wars. So, how do you actually get this thing running? You technically don't need expensive hardware, but your choice here determines your privacy and your capability. There are essentially 2 schools of thought on how to deploy Moltbot. First, you have the Mac Mini route, which is by far the most popular for enthusiasts. Why a Mac Mini? Because of the ecosystem integration. If you are an iPhone user, having a Mac Mini running Moltbot means it can interact with iMessage, Apple Notes, your calendar, and your photos. It draws very little power, so you can leave it on 24/7. It becomes a physical appliance in your home dedicated to serving you. The downside? It costs money. You're looking at $600 or more for the hardware. The second option is the VPS route. This stands for Virtual Private Server. You can rent a slice of a computer in the cloud from places like Amazon AWS or DigitalOcean for a few bucks a month. This is great for budget-conscious users and for security, which we'll get to in a minute, but you lose the ability to control graphical apps. It becomes purely a text-based command line worker. Once you have the body, the computer, you need the brain. Moltbot creates the hands, but it needs an intelligence provider to think. During the setup process, which is surprisingly simple and done via a command line script, you have to choose your model. If you want the best experience, the community almost unanimously recommends Claude Opus by Anthropic. It creates the most human-like experience. It has high-level reasoning and a personality that makes working with it feel like chatting with a smart colleague. You can use GPT-4o from OpenAI, which is excellent for logic and coding, though some users find it a bit more robotic in its responses. And for the budget warriors, you can use models like Minimax, or even run local models on your own machine if it's powerful enough, meaning you pay $0 in API fees. So, you bought the Mac Mini, you installed the software, and you paid for the API. You're ready to go, right? Wrong. Because Moltbot isn't a tool you just use. It's an employee you have to onboard. This is the part that most people skip. And it's why most people fail with AI agents. When you install Microsoft Word, you don't have to take it out to lunch and tell it about your childhood. But Moltbot is different. Once you fire it up, you need to enter the onboarding phase. Treat it like a new hire on their first day. If you hired a human assistant and just stared at them silently, they wouldn't be very helpful. You need to download your brain into theirs. The best practice here is what the community calls the brain dump. You open the chat interface, and for 20 minutes, you just text the bot about yourself. Who are you? What is your job title? What are your short-term and long-term goals? What tone of voice do you like in your writing? Do you prefer casual updates or formal reports? Who are your favorite sports teams? What coding languages do you despise? Because Moltbot has persistent memory, you only have to do this once. After the brain dump, you engage in the feedback loop. You ask the bot to create a user profile based on what you just said and read it back to you. This confirms that the AI actually understands your working style. You also need to install skills. These are modular capabilities. Out of the box, Moltbot is smart, but you need to explicitly give it permission and connections to use things like GitHub, Linear, or Google Calendar. It's like giving your new employee their keycard to the building. But here is where we have to stop the hype train for a second and get serious. Because giving an autonomous AI unrestricted access to your files, your browser, and your life is frankly dangerous. Let's be real. You are giving an AI autonomous control over a computer with internet access. If it hallucinates, or if it gets confused, or if someone prompts it maliciously, the consequences aren't just bad text. It could delete your files. It could send an embarrassing email to your boss. It could accidentally publish your tax returns to a public GitHub repository. If you are going to use Moltbot, you must follow strict security protocols. First, sandbox the environment. Never, and I mean never, install Moltbot directly on your primary work laptop, where you keep your banking passwords and family photos. That is asking for trouble. This is why the separate Mac Mini or the Cloud VPS is so recommended. You want an air gap. If the bot goes rogue, you want it to destroy a machine that doesn't matter, not your entire digital existence. Second, use burner accounts. Do not log the bot into your primary personal Gmail. Create a specific Google account, like my-ai-agent@gmail.com. Forward only the necessary emails to that account. This creates a safety buffer. If the bot decides to delete every email in the inbox, it's deleting copies, not your originals. Third, the wallet protection. If the bot gets stuck in a loop trying to solve a complex coding problem while you're asleep, it could theoretically keep pinging the API thousands of times a minute. You could wake up to a bill from OpenAI for $5,000. Always set a hard spending limit on your API dashboard. $5, $50, whatever you can afford to lose. And finally, for the first few weeks, use the human-in-the-loop method. Instruct the bot that it is only allowed to create drafts. It should never click send on an email or push code to production without you explicitly texting the word approved. If you can handle the security risks, and if you can navigate the setup, you aren't just downloading an app. You are participating in a fundamental shift in how humans operate. We are moving from a world where we use software to a world where software uses software on our behalf. The buzz around Moltbot isn't just hype. It's the realization that the barrier to entry for building incredible things is collapsing. When you have a 24/7 employee who costs pennies to run, your ability to create, to research, and to build is no longer limited by the number of hours in a day. It's only limited by your ability to direct the machine. Sure, there are valid fears. Will this displace jobs? Absolutely. Is it a security risk? Definitely. But the leverage it offers to the individual is unprecedented. We are standing at the edge of a new era. The technology is here. The infrastructure is affordable. The only variable left is you. Are you going to hire your first AI employee? Or are you going to wait until everyone else has one? The future is waiting for your first command on Telegram. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.